Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back to the Games and Culture podcast. It's episode 38. So I
Mm-hmm.
did check today. Did my
I
due
was aware.
diligence.
I didn't check. I just knew it was 38.
I checked.
I'm built different. I'm built different.
Praise be to Nick for knowing that it's episode 38 without having to check. We got kind of a lighter episode. It's been relatively quiet.
With the exception of the
video
direct.
games.
So the exception of that direct, but we already did a live
Yeah,
reaction to that. So
we did a separate video on that you can find a link to up in the corner. It's somewhere in the ether that you can click our link and see our reactions to it. We can give some just brief summary. Very kind of middle of the road direct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gave it a CC plus. There was some good things about it, like getting a Prime 4 release date was good. Some of the Mario stuff they showed was good. I think one of the pacing of the show was awful.
Yes.
I think it really hurt them. I wanted more of that Prime 4 trailer. I mean, not just because, of course I do, but they actually showed something that was like, okay, this is an interesting gimmick. I need you to explain.
Yes.
And they just didn't explain.
Yeah.
They did a new Fire Emblem game, which looks like it's kind of the three houses in some way.
Yes.
I don't know if it's prequel or sequel. Either are plausible. So there were good things, but again, the pacing was awful. There was a lot of just like, oh my god, why? Like the Pokemon Farm Sim, just like.
Yeah, I'll defend that. It doesn't look that bad. It looks.
It's
okay.
The problem is all the farmers still looked okay. They don't look bad, but it's like, oh my god, another one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was just kind of a middle road. I'm excited for Fire Emblem. I think it's extremely weird that they didn't show off more Metroid Prime 4. That kind of makes me concerned for the launch of the game, that they didn't want to show off any more of it.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
It's the fact of the matter. I mean, because typically speaking, when that happens, they announce a direct for the game, like in the big direct or sometime soon after. So it's just a smidge bit concerning.
We should see. Hopefully they do one because they're doing 2 for Kirby, so it's like,
yeah. Why?
Like,
Metroid Prime 4 is arguably a bigger game for Nintendo than Kirby Air Riders is. I mean, Kirby Air Riders will have kind of a long tail. People will buy it across its lifespan. But like Metroid Prime 4 specifically, like you got to get people in the door.
yeah, I mean, I get not wanting to show off too much of Metroid Prime 4 compared to Kirby, because Kirby, it's a racing game. You kind of just, the spoilers aren't really a concept in that game like that. Metroid Prime 4,
Yes.
the puzzles are the things. You don't want to spoil that stuff. So I get one player card closer to it with Metroid, but yeah, you do need a little bit more explanation with what you showed.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, pretty much middle of the road direct. We did get a launch date for Monster Hunter Stories 3, so that's good. But without that and Fire Emblem and all the Mario stuff, I think this would have been like 45 minutes of just nothing.
Yeah, so, it's not the direct the Switch 2 needed at this moment.
Yeah, if you want to see our full breakdown, though, like I said, link will be somewhere in the ether of the video. Find it, click on it, watch it, and see if you agree with our comments. But other than that, pretty quiet, unless your name's Randy Pitchford, and then you're not quiet at all.
Ever.
But we'll get to that in a few minutes. We always start these episodes off with what we've been playing. Maybe keep your pulse on something that you haven't checked out before. So, Nick, what have you been playing lately?
I guarantee that what I've been playing is something that people have been playing. It's Silk Song. That's not something people have. That's not a game you're like, well, maybe I should check it out. You already checked it out. We all know you already checked it out. Come on.
Fair enough.
You all 4 stores crashed. Like, damn.
Fair enough.
It's really good. I played because Team Cherry's like, hey, it comes out in 2 weeks. Surprise. I was like, oh fuck, I need to play Hollow Knight first. Okay, fine. So I kind of went through Hollow Knight. I didn't like the first Hollow Knight. Be real. It's a hot take. I think it didn't click with me.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it. I didn't bargain a good ending though. I just kind of like fuck this and I literally cheesed the boss. I got like a couple like charms on there that have someone like these little minions attack the things for you. So I just ran away. I didn't like how the game felt, how the combat really felt. I felt like we were leaning more to like instead of being like 50-50 Dark Souls, Metroidvania, it felt we were just tilting really into Dark Souls and just like I almost felt like what I do think they're showing a very thin line of Metroidvania and Dark Souls because they're almost at odds with each other. Because the whole point of a Dark Souls game is you get better through skill, learning patterns, things like that. Your gameplay experience, though, like your abilities aren't really expanding throughout the course of the game. Compared to a Metroidvania, that's the name of the game. You're getting new abilities constantly, so what you can do in the game is expanding. So I felt like there was new, traversal options given to me at a very snail pace. It didn't feel like I was progressing that often. Combat never felt like I was really evolving that much. I didn't really care for the first one that much. So I played Silk Song because I was kind of concerned, like, okay, I kind of regret buying if I didn't like the first one. This one's clicking a lot though. This one, I think the environments are much more varied. The Hollowness felt very samey throughout the whole most of it.
Yeah.
I'm so early in the game, but all these areas feel vastly different. I think the gameplay is better. It feels faster paced, and it is like unlike the Hollow Knight Hollow Knight, when he jumped in the air and he did a downward attack, you kind of had to commit. Like you weren't gonna have you still have to commit with this, but like you couldn't react out of it quickly. Whereas Hornet in this, she'll do a dive, like a dive kick type of thing. I mean, obviously not kicking, but you know what I mean. But it has momentum when she does that, so you're going to carry through, kind of cross them up, and I can kind of turn around and hit them on the back end as I'm kind of coming down. Like there's just feels like there's more gameplay expression with these system mechanics, and this one did. I already feel like the game is actually putting out upgrades and stuff like that to make traversal and other things at a good pace. Like it doesn't feel like I'm just like going hours at a time with nothing.
Yeah. I think that is a really important in a Metroidvania game is like getting tools at a good consistent pace, because not only does that propel your exploration forward, but allows you to backtrack and get stuff that you couldn't get before, that which opens up new paths, and then it kind of just snowballs. So
I think that's what happened there for me is Hollow Knight leans too much Dark Souls, and I want more Metroidvania because I mean that's just where the angle I look at it from. And Silk Song kind of I think feels like it balances that better. So I mean, a lot of people I've read online said this game's harder than Hollow Knight. I just don't feel that way. I feel like this game's kind of easier. Maybe it gets harder later. I don't know, but as of right now, the Metroidvania things I want, I'm getting out of Silk Song.
Yeah. I mean, I've only put in like an hour in Silk Song, and I also agree that it feels a lot better to play. It's a lot more snappier. You feel like Hornet has more tools right out of the gate than Hollow Knight did, so that's very helpful. And I'm sure I'll get back to Silk Song before the year's end, but I chose the first person shooter elephant in the room.
Yeah, my problem is like Hades 2 comes out this coming week.
Yes,
and like I'm in Silk Song. You're actually really clicking for me, like, but it's Hades 2.
Yeah,
it's Hades 2 1.0. Like that's my like what I can't not play that.
Yes. It's a battle of titans.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to Blueprints. I'm so sorry. Yeah. You had Indie Game of the Year right in front of you. You deserved it, and then probably the two biggest titans in Indie Game history decided we're going to release our sequels this year, and they're both critically acclaimed. It's like, well, fuck.
It's just little Blueprints looking up at these two Goliaths fighting it out. It's like, oh, damn.
Like, if you're gonna lose to something, at least you lost to those. You can't be mad, but like, that's just like, as you said in our last episode, like, Gorilla was looking at him going, I understand.
First time. I've been in this war since I was 6 years old. But yeah, as mentioned, I've been playing Borderlands 4. I'll start off with the good first. I think it is better than 3.
Which the bar wasn't high for that. The bar was not high for that. 3 was not good.
granted. But I feel like it's a lot better written. There's been a lot more heartfelt moments already so far than I expected. Like, without spoilers, like there's a mission where Claptrap like weirdly looks inward and like makes some progress forward, seemingly. So it's like, oh, okay, that's
I
total
can't
whiplash. All right.
I kind of want to play down just for that.
I literally just grabbed a Moxie photo that you were talking about in a very inappropriate way, and now we're like retrospecting. Like, whoa, okay, hold on, my neck hurts from the whiplash. Gunplay feels pretty good. They introduced a couple new gun manufacturers that are not built equally. Lots of charging weapons in this one. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just want to murder mass hordes of stuff pretty quickly. I haven't played all the classes, but the two classes that I have played, the Exo Soldier and the Siren / Witch, feel pretty good. Rafa the Exo Soldier is broken as shit. And everything just feels pretty good. The story's been pretty good so far. There's just the thing that Borderlands will always run into until they figure out kind of the sauce, is that from the start of Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack was like a fixture in the game, pushing the narrative forward and really just antagonizing your fire team as you're going through. And he was so charismatic that they just can't
It's an impossible task of trying to
replicate
to him.
Yeah, or replicate or even get something at a similar level. So I think they did something interesting this time. They went towards the villains are menacing route and let all the other characters be kind of the comedic relief, which I think is probably a better case scenario, because like the villain, the Timekeeper, pretty much established itself as a pretty fucked up villain. And then there's like 3 like lieutenants under the Timekeeper that have all been pretty menacing in their own rights as well. So I think that's an interesting take of like, okay, we tried to do the replicate Jack thing, didn't work. People found it annoying. Let's do something else. Let's make a good villain, like evil guy, and let's make everybody else kind of be zany, weird, and stuff like that. And I think that does kind of help the tone of the game, because then you're this like ragtag group of jokers trying to take out this big entity, and it kind of feels a little bit more succinct. But I just, every Borderlands will forever be compared to Borderlands 2, and it will always fail. And that's something that the team at Gearbox have to figure out.
The thing is, I just don't know if they can. Because it's one of those things. Is Borderlands 2 is a lightning in a bottle moment. Borderlands 2 to generally discuss it. Like, I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't put top 10 games of all time, but like I think it has a place. Like, if you're making like a top 100 list, which the publications do sometimes, I think it's the only Borderlands game that has an argument to be in a list like that.
I would argue it'd be in the top 50 games of all time. I mean,
yeah,
because its DLCs were also super good, and
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you're going a little higher, but 50 or 100, it's still pretty high. There's a lot of games out there. It probably the only game in the entire franchise will ever do that. It was lightning in a bottle, and the fact that you got lightning in a bottle in your second outing is like I mean, I kind of personally, I kind of feel Uncharted is in the same boat. Uncharted 2 is I don't know if it'll ever be topped.
Yeah,
I don't know if it can be. So there's some franchises that are just kind of in that rut. Doesn't mean they're bad. Like I said, if Borderlands 4 is good, it sounds like it is, compared to 3. Like 3, I think is just bad.
Yeah.
But 4 just seems like, it's a good entry in the franchise. It's not as good as 2, but that's not fair to it to 4 compared to 2.
Yeah.
So
it's just what naturally happens. Well, let's talk about the bad then. This game is horribly optimized. So I have a very powerful PC. So I am really not having a ton of problems. It stutters sometimes when things kind of gets crazy, which is still crazy for my rig. But there have been people tons of people that have had issues. Some of the people I've been playing with have had significant issues. The internet is abuzz with people that have had issues, and it's not great.
No, I've heard it's also on console. I haven't looked too much into it. From what I understand, I heard like a Digital Foundry, do their thing on it. There seems to be like a memory leak problem in all platforms with the game. So when you have that issue, that's gonna cause a lot of problems. Frame drops and stutters and things like that. So that's a massive issue and it needs to be addressed.
Yes, but unfortunately, the only issue that Gearbox has said they're addressing is the FOV sliders on console. Everything else is apparently hunky dory, according to Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox and notable magician. It's no secret that since the game launched, that Randy Pitchford has been on Twitter at war with people that are literally just asking for the Gearbox team to make the game better.
Here's the issue. You didn't need to say like since the game launched. That's just what he does.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this week he he has made it worse.
Put foot in mouth again.
Yeah, to the point where people are straight up not buying the game because of Randy's comments. So, looking at a Eurogamer article on the subject, Randy Pitchford advises Borderlands 4 players to get a refund if they're not happy with it, as social media tirade defending PC performance continues. It's just so stupid. So, as criticism of Borderlands 4's technical performance continues, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford has told players to get a refund from Steam if you aren't happy with it. Since Borderlands 4's release last week, Pitchford has been on a tirade on social media in defense of the game, calling it pretty damn optimal. It is not. In his latest post, Pitchford stated that every PC gamer must accept the reality of the relationship between their hardware and what software they are running is doing, effectively placing the responsibility on individual players to perform their own optimizations. One player responded, "Your product doesn't meet the standards," and said it took days to get the game into a tolerable state. Pitchford replied, "You can do whatever you want. The game is the game. Please get a refund from Steam if you're not happy with it. You made an analogy to a vehicle. I would not put a Ferrari engine in a monster truck and expect it to drive like a Ferrari. You tell me about your specification. I can help you optimize your performance. I'm sorry you don't like being told to use DLSS, but that is the way. If you're not happy using the tools available to you to improve frame rate and you're not happy with the frame rate you have, you should play a different game. The game is awesome and it is designed to be fine, to be just fine of an experience at 30 FPS and feel great at 60 FPS. We also have provided a lot of options for you to make different trade-offs between frame rate, resolution, and graphic features than we would make, and we encourage you to use those tools to optimize your tastes. Would you like help tuning your experience to better your liking?" It's like, God damn.
Damn you, Rich Bird. He's the worst thing about Gearbox by far.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Jesus, like, yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't been sacked. But then again, I think he owns like a large amount of shares in the company. I don't know if he can be, because Jesus Christ, this is the first time he's put his foot in his mouth. And again, the thing is, like, yes, PC gamers have to, like, you're because of the type of situation you're in, like, optimization is the trickiest on PC. Sure, your game's also running like ass on console. That's everyone has the same PlayStation, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two different PlayStations, but it functionally ain't much different. You're gonna make the game for the base PS5. So like in the base PS5, relatively, I think it's compared to like a 20 series. Which I would imagine most people who are buying and playing Borderlands 4 on PC would have at least that. You're playing on a 40, I'm assuming, right?
I'm sorry?
You're playing on a 40 series, right?
Yeah, I have a 4090 Super in my PC.
So that's a pretty beefy car. I'm sure you have other, so all that goes with that.
Yeah.
And you're still having some issues. If you're still having issues on that card, there's something else at play here. There's not like, oh, your system's not powerful enough. You should not be making games where you need a fucking 50. Yeah. Like, barely anyone has a 50 series. So you should be making games just for that thing.
Yeah, and I mean, so it is still proving popular. Concurrent player counts for on Steam are in the 300,000s. So it's still proving popular, which is good for Gearbox. But Randy's comments are making things harder to reach those. Looking at some Steam reviews, looking at Creeping Jesus 00 posted crashing far too often, play with 3 other people with different rigs and still having issues with crashing back to desktop several times an hour, even after update. Avoid. Um, One bag of Cheez-Its writes, poor optimization once again. CEO is blaming the customer. Don't support the game devs with their heads in the sand. That I don't agree with. Don't support Randy Pitchford when he's making comments. For sure, the devs didn't want this for sure. Um, Player DJs. It started okay, but after a couple hours, it's becoming unplayable. Even tried putting the settings on low, still unplayable. So across a variety of rigs and stuff, it's just sad. Here's one from Bing. I wanted to be patient about this review while I had a lot of reasons to make while I had a lot of reasons to make a negative review. Then Randy spoke on Twitter. I can in good conscience recommend this game. I won't lie. This is definitely better than Borderlands 3 and in gameplay, and it might be even in story wise. I can't confirm as I can't really enjoy the game with this horrendous format. Do not buy this game at full price. Do not encourage such behavior from AAA studios. Under no circumstances, a game with this price tag from a developer like this should be bad at launch. There's no excuse whatsoever. What makes it worse is the clown that keeps talking on Twitter, only making the situation worse. My advice to you, wait till performance is fixed and until it goes on sale. Teach them a lesson. So, yeah.
I don't
People
get it.
are
I did.
not happy.
I still mentioned last week. This is an issue in a lot of games too, where this optimization is just done poor. And at first, like, okay, so when the original Borderlands 4 was supposed to release a little later, I mean, 1 or 2 weeks later, but we got moved up to the 12th.
Yeah.
One, it's looking like you could have used that extra couple weeks to optimize the game. 2, I assumed it was moved up to make way for GTA 6 because I thought we assumed GTA 6 could have been because that release date for the 12th was put in before we knew that GTA 6 was going to May of next year.
Yeah.
So I assume that's right, and I get wanting to get clear space for GTA 6. I get that.
Yeah.
But now we know GTA 6 is in May. You could have delayed Borderlands 4 for its optimization stuff till early November if you needed extra time. Like you weren't in danger of GTA 6.
Well, I think they wanted to get out before Call of Duty, like well out before Call of Duty.
I get, but like even it's still a month, even mid-October, I think would have been fine. Like if you needed a little extra time, which this game clearly did need a little bit extra time for optimization purposes, you weren't under GTA 6 pressure because obviously GTA 6 and Borderlands 4 are owned by the same company. So I get them wanting keep those two games far apart, to not have because GTA 6 will cannibalize everything. Not want to have GTA 6 cannibalize Borderlands 4. So I get that, but that's not a concern here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just unfortunate, right? It's just super unfortunate. Because so a game comes out, bad performance, that's something that's fixable. But the people that are getting bashed by Randy Pitchford on Twitter, that's something that's not fixable. Like that's losing lifelong customers right there.
How many times has he done this? As I said when we started this topic, like this is what he does. Like he's done that. He was doing this in the 3 era.
Yeah.
Like I don't get this dude. I don't understand this dude hasn't realized like, oh shit, I'm hurting my company by talking. Just like, dude, delete your account on Twitter. Like it literally harms your company more than it helps.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, Doug. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. If somebody complains about performance, try to help them. What I will agree with Randy on is there's tons of people that don't want to use DLSS, and it's like, I mean, it's a tool to use. I understand not wanting companies to rely on DLSS to make things work, but if you know you have an underspec PC and are trying to play a game that you know is um is under those specs, um you know, if DLSS is there to help you, then just use it. But but I agree with the people saying I don't want companies to rely on it, because yeah, 100%, I don't want companies to rely on it to make their games better. But if
no, I would agree with that. The only thing I'll say is if you know, they shouldn't be relying on that stuff to make it function. But the only thing I'll say is if you have a pretty sizable rig, if you know is the difference between the game functioning or not is DLSS, even on like a 40 series, then just use DLSS so the game can actually work. Like, yeah, they shouldn't be relying on it, but as it currently stands, that's the difference maker.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just all wild. You have a good game, a couple tweaks could have a great game, but now we have some loudmouth CEO going just absolutely jeopardizing it. And it sucks if you're a dev working for Gearbox, man. I feel so bad for you. You're working really hard on this thing, and yeah, it has problems, but like people are still enjoying it. You can fix the problems and people will enjoy it even more, and then everything will be fine. But you literally have somebody that's saying no to that opportunity to make things better for players. It's just wild. Randy, get your shit together.
Because we need to get shit together. Jesus.
Talking about things that need to get their shit together, let's talk about some US tariffs. Prices going up. And it's not great. So let's talk about the smaller one first. Amiibo prices. As we talked about, I think we talked about it in the direct video. They announced new Kirby Air Rider amiibos that you can take the rider off of and put them on another vehicle, similar how you can do in the game. Super cool. They've never done that with amiibos before. Those amiibos were like $50
each.
And Nintendo strictly has said that it is due to the U.S. tariffs on Chinese-made goods. Is straight up why. I mean, it has happened before this because I think they announced these price increases. Well, I don't think they announced these price increases, but we did start to see them increase earlier this spring with the new Tears of the Kingdom amiibos, and then with the Donkey Kong amiibo. I found one of the Donkey Kong amiibos. I didn't know how much it was. I took it to a scanner at Target, came out $30, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I was gonna say because I have a list of all the amiibos that were announced during that presentation. So Galaxy Prime 4 and Kirby. And these high prices for these amiibos are just here in the U.S. So the Galaxy, both the Mario amiibo and the Rosalina amiibo are $40 in the U.S., but in the U.K. it's £25. And I believe that's the euro. So in Europe it's €30 or 4,000 yen. I'm gonna assume the yen is close to because the yen is a higher inflated currency than the dollar is. So I'm gonna assume that's pretty close to what it is in pounds and euros.
Yeah, probably.
The Metro Prime 4 Beyond ones, $30 for Samus or Silex, 17 pounds, 20 euros, 2,500 yen. The Air Riders, 50 a piece, $40 a piece, 34 pounds, 40 euros, or 66,000 yen. And then the bike for Samus is 40, the same price as the Mario and Rosalina ones.
Yeah.
So the US is the most expensive ones. What's different about the US compared to those other countries? Oh,
tariff.
Yep.
The tariffs. It's just sad. It's just sad. That's a crazy price for an amiibo. That's a crazy price for an amiibo. Especially, like, I mean, I'll be honest. I've got fuck tons of these stupid things
Mm-hmm.
because I like them and they're cool, but I don't really use them aside for like one time.
I mean,
Then they go and look cool on the shelf.
maybe,
That
I
I
mean,
refuse to dust.
me and you used to work at GameStop, and we don't know how low those prices for Amiibos used to be.
$15. They used to be $15.
Mm-hmm.
20, 25 on the upper end for like bigger ones or special edition ones. And it's just crazy for them to be $50. I mean, that is straight up a double in price.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% markup on the price.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably just gonna get worse. I would have gladly got those Amiibos had they been their normal prices, but now I'm just like, that's $50 is a whole ass game.
Mm-hmm. That's 33.
That's 2.5 Silk Songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's Expression 33 itself.
yes. Like
it's so dumb.
wild.
And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there.
No, it does
because
not.
Nope. Microsoft got into the fun too.
Yes. Announcing this week the retail price for Xbox Series S, Series X, Series X Digital, and Series X 2 terabyte special edition consoles will be going up on October 3rd. Looking at an IGN article about the price increases, here are the new prices. The Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte console was $379, now will be $400. The Xbox Series S 1 terabyte was $430, will be $450. The Xbox Series X digital console was $550, now will be $600. Xbox Series X console was $600, now is $650. Xbox Series X 2 terabyte was $730, now is going to be $800. We'll get into it. Let me explain their reasoning here. According to them, Xbox says the price increase occurred due to changes in the macroeconomic environment, and adds that in the future it will continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen, providing value for Xbox customers. This move comes after video game companies are raising prices on everything from consoles to accessories to games, with price increases affecting the U.S. in particular amid ongoing tariff fluctuation and uncertainty. Obviously, last month, Sony implemented a price increase on its hardware. Nintendo raised the price of the Switch 1 and various accessories as well. So, I just personally can't believe this from a business standpoint, because nobody was buying Xboxes to begin with. If you walk into a store and see that price and see the PS5 Pro sitting right next to it for that price.
I would say the Series S launched at $300, now it's $400. The Series X digital should be cheaper than the Series X, the normal Series X when it launched, and that was $500. Now the digital only version now is $600. The original version now is $650, so a $150 increase in price. The 2 terabyte was $600 when it launched. Now it's $800.
Yep.
$200 increase, which means it's crazy. That means the 2 terabyte Series X is $50 more than a PS5 Pro.
That's what I'm saying. And the Xbox Series X is worse than the PS5 Pro.
Now, I said I'm not gonna blame too much on this, because now there is a key difference in how they're manufactured, in a sense, because you both mentioned that they don't sell as many as PlayStation does. So that means they're not manufacturing, seeing them over here as often, which means their supply to pick on, thing like Sony had a bunch of over here because they were just selling PS5 like crazy. So they didn't have to get tariffed for a while. Microsoft's getting tariffed pretty quickly because they're not getting them over here that often. But also Sony when unfortunately the idiot won the election, Sony did play it smart. And because they knew he was fucking talking about tariffs his entire campaign. and they decided to one kind of spread out where the PS5 was being manufactured, so to kind of dodge tariffs more. They also shipped a bunch of PS5s as much as they could over here before they got tariffed.
Yep.
Microsoft didn't do those things. Nintendo manufactures Switch 2 in Vietnam. Microsoft manufactures the Xbox in China only.
Yeah.
Which China got the worst of it in terms of the tariffs, which meaning that explains why this is going up so quickly and why they've done it so often. This all goes back to you fucking morons voted in an orange felon again. We've discussed before. We're not going to be an sensei. We don't want to talk politics too much on this channel because we're a gaming, channel. We understand people are not here for politics, but we're also not going to be like other channels where we try to skirt around the issue. When this issue is specifically related to one specific thing that is political, we're not going to go him around. Like, we're going to tell you, like, this is the reality situation. And the reality situation is the president of the United States is a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
he's still a fascist, but that's a whole other can of worms. But that's the issue right there.
I mean, tariffs are raising the price on everything. Inflation is getting worse again. Like, it's just what it is. This is such a, like, if all of you Xbox fans didn't just become a Democrat, I don't know what's going on with you. Because, like, holy shit, you think this is where it's going to stop? Next up is accessories and Game Pass, dogs. Microsoft already said $80 for this year. They walked back Outer Worlds because they knew they had to, but Call of Duty is going to be $80.
I was going to say, half the country voted for this idiot. Like, this is what you got. This is what you all voted for. Is America great again yet? I ain't feeling it.
No. And Xbox and Microsoft, a U.S. company, certainly isn't feeling it either with price increase like that. This price increase in particular is saying we understand we are not going to sell another Xbox. We know we're not going to sell another Xbox.
It just popped in my head how funny this is, because you mentioned Microsoft's a U.S. company, because the orange fascist says he wants to do this all for U.S. company, buy American, U.S. genius, all this crap. In this specific instance, Microsoft's the only U.S. company in this console race.
Yep.
And they getting smoked by two Japanese companies. Yep. And the one who's hurt the most with this all tariffs is the only U.S. company in the race.
Yep. That's the definition of irony. I mean, so a part of my headcanon too with this is we have the ROG Xbox Ally bullshit coming out here soon. Part of me thinks that at least on the top end, because the 2 terabyte Xbox was the highest price increase. Part of me thinks that that was done intentionally, because they could have just went $20 more and matched the Xbox the PS5 Pro price. But they went way beyond that. So I wonder if this is if you're walking in and you're buying an Xbox and the ROG Xbox Ally is sitting to the right of it, maybe like $100 more cheaper, or $100 more expensive, or even cheaper, because I think the base model is supposed to be cheaper than this. I wonder if this is a move to get people to purchase one of those.
Here's the thing, though. Officially, the ROG Ally prices have not been locked in yet.
Yes, I know.
We're closing the release, so there's very possible that they could be increasing those things already.
That's true.
Like, I have no idea. The second ROG Ally, that ROG X, could be over 1,000. I could see that.
Yeah.
So, again, this is what half y'all motherfuckers voted for.
Yeah, when I saw this week, I was just like, oh, they're just never selling an Xbox again then, because there's no reason to. You're buying a worse console for more money.
Yeah, why would you?
Why would you do that?
I mean, the proposition of a PlayStation 5 over an Xbox is already heavily skewed in PlayStation's favor anyway. But now that the clearly better console is less expensive.
Well, I mean, this just takes me right back to 2013 PS4 versus Xbox One. The PS4 was $100 cheaper, more powerful, and people bought it in droves. So, like I said, this is just Xbox saying, White flag. We lose. We lose.
I mean, they've been doing that. We're all waiting on Halo to come out on the
Yeah.
PlayStation at this point. So it's, Jesus, it's all everything's a fucking mess in the world because we're highlighting this because this is very video game industry specific, but this is not the only issue that's where this is occurring, and this is occurring in much more important industries because video games are a luxury. That's this. We're talking about luxury items.
Well, it's a
Food,
luxury
housing.
entertainment industry. Yes.
Yeah, but things like food, housing, automobiles, things that are critical infrastructure, they're all skyrocketing too. So everything is getting fucked.
Yep. So, unfortunately, our little corner of video games is one of the things getting fucked. But let us know in the comments. Would you still buy an Xbox at that price? Let us know so we can talk you out of it.
let me know in the comments. Were you a dumbass who voted for him? Because let me know so I can make fun of you.
Let's try to keep it to video games in the comments at the very least.
I want to make fun of them though.
I mean, fair enough. Let's walk across the street to Sony. No bad news in Sony's camp right now. They're flying high. But just some interesting notes from the Sony camp. First being, if you're a Sly Cooper fan, I got some bad news for you. I'm looking at a Kotaku article on the subject titled "Someone Save Sly Cooper because Sucker Punch clearly isn't going to." Please, my kleptomaniac son has been stranded in ancient Egypt since 2013. Sucker Punch Productions hasn't made a Sly Cooper game in 20 years. The last time the Ghost of Yotei developer put together an elaborate heist in the stealth platformer series was 2005 Sly 3 on the PS2. Obviously there were some other ones released after that. Sanzaru Games did Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for the PS3. And it left on a cliffhanger of Sly being trapped in ancient Egypt. Sanzaru intended to resolve this with a DLC, but Sony pulled the plug on the DLC, and the studio was acquired by Meta in 2020. So one of PlayStation's mascot has been in a time travel limbo for over a decade with no sign of a fifth game or DLC in sight. Could Sucker Punch go back and make a new game, saving its beloved thief from a fate worse than death? Nope. Apparently the studio is just not interested in going back. MinMax had Ghost of Yotei co-director Nate Fox on its show for 125 rapid-fire questions. Naturally, they talked a lot about the upcoming Samurai game, joked about the relief of Grand Theft Auto 6 getting delayed, and discussed a hypothetical VR game concept set in the Ghost of Tsushima world. At approximately 7 minutes and 40 seconds into the video, MinMax asked Fox what percentage of the studio would be enthused about working on a fifth Sly Cooper game. Fox says 10% of the Bellevue studio would be excited. Interviewer Ben Hansen expressed shock at the low number, and Fox says it's been a long time, Ben, since Sly Cooper's come out. And so, yeah, it's no big surprise, honestly.
No.
A lot of these, especially for Sony in particular, a lot of these legacy studios that had their starts on these like very kid-friendly mascot platformers, they went on to develop more mature franchises as video game matured and as their studios matured, and that's the stories that they now want to tell. Naughty Dog is never going back to Crash, obviously.
Well, it can, yeah.
It can't.
Yeah.
Insomniac has Ratchet and Clank, so they're not going back to Spyro. Again, they can't, but
no. Insomniac's the only one who I'm assuming is like stable of studios who have like an old classic platform mascot who still dips into the well back of doing Ratchet and Clank.
Well,
like,
hypothetical though, I think that's because Resistance failed.
True, but they still do because Rift Apart came a couple years ago. It was really good.
Yeah.
They're not counting Team Asobi because Team Asobi has only done Astro Bot, and they obviously weren't getting a year last year. They seem to be just doing that.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, Night Dog, they literally can't do Crash, but they could do Jack and Daxter if they wanted to. They don't want to.
No.
But we kind of discussed in the pre-show. I mentioned this story is very similar to Guerrilla Games and them saying not want to do Killzone. You know, Killzone is a more true franchise. The same thing. They moved on to something they prefer doing. A common misconception I see on the internet all the time that is Sony doesn't, you know, Sony's letting these franchises, you know, waste in the dustbin, which, yeah, they are kind of sitting in a dustbin, but like they're forcing these studios to make these, you know, Sony movie type games. And like, they're not forcing them.
No.
These are the games that the studios want to make. So it's kind of a would you get it? In the case of Sucker Punch, do you want a Sly game from them, even though they've just blatantly said they don't want to do it?
Yeah.
We're going to game for them, like, yeah, it's still like the Sony movie looking game, but it is this game that Sony Sucker Punch wanted to make.
I think there's extra weight with Sucker Punch as well, because I think Sucker Punch never really has never really faltered. Like Killzone at best was a B- level first person shooter. Sucker Punch, Sly Cooper, beloved, infamous, beloved. Ghost of Tsushima was a monumentous success for that studio. I you know, this was before we started our channels and stuff like that, but Ghost of Tsushima did exceptionally well in Japan. Exceptionally well. People in Japan loved how just representative of their culture it actually was. This is a game. This is a game made by people that truly loved what they were doing, and you can see it in the game, and people from that culture are like, yeah, you guys nailed it. And I'm playing through Ghost of Tsushima now, a little late to the party, very late to the party, but I love it. I know it didn't gel well with you, Nick, but I am super enthralled in it, to the point where I almost bought a PS Portal this week because it was on sale on Amazon to play Ghost of Yotei when it comes out on my PS5. Like, so I think there's extra weight for Sucker Punch going like, no, this is what we want to do. Like this is what we love doing. And
here's the thing. I don't listen to too much of that. The combat just didn't gel with me for some reason. The story, the world building, all that's great. But it is one of those games like I can see why people will like it, type of thing. It just didn't click for me. But here's the thing, even when it goes to Yotei, I'll probably still buy Ghost of Yotei because I want to see maybe it'll and I just point out with Hollow Knight at the very beginning of the episode. The first game didn't click with me. Silk Song is clicking. So it's very possible that the Ghost of Yotei will do that for me. I don't want to, I'm sure. But also, as I just said, like knowing that, and especially now that this is the game they want to make, it's much better Ghost of Yotei exists than a Sly 4. I never played Sly, so I don't really touch, but I would love a new Infamous game. But the game they want to make is the Ghost of Yotei. Okay, they make Ghost of Yotei. Yeah, that's fine. That's what you need to make. That's what you want to make. Go do that instead. Don't worry about me.
Guerrilla wanted to make Horizon, and they did. And Horizon is, I mean, Aloy is now a mascot for PlayStation. Like that was not a passion project by a small studio and they pushed it out. No, like that was like, this is what we want to do, and Sony was like, this is crazy, go for it. And it only paid dividends. So
this concept for me, like Killzone's okay. I love Horizon so much. Like I don't make me a Killzone 5. I want Horizon 3. And for me that works out. Anyway, for Sony's case, that works out better too. Like Horizon's a more lucrative franchise, and it's a game that Sony wants to make. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So like, it's just dumb that people complain. Like I get some people want Sony to be a bit more like Nintendo-esque with their properties they have, because Nintendo does like Nintendo nostalgia baits better than anyone in the industry.
Yeah.
But that's not who Sony is, and that's fine. You know what? Sony doesn't need to be Nintendo too. Sony can be Sony, Nintendo can be Nintendo.
I do think though that there is room for all of these franchises.
Oh yeah.
Just because Sucker Punch doesn't want to make another Sly game doesn't mean you can't license them out. I mean, Toys for Bob is now an independent studio.
Yeah, and there's also Team
a Sly
Asobi
game by Toys for Bob. I think that would be awesome.
That could work. I was gonna say, and like Team Asobi just put out Astrobot last year, which is fucking fantastic game. One game of the year. So in Ratchet and Clank a couple of years ago came out. So it's not like, I think I said before, when Sony does make a platformer, they don't usually miss. Then also, but I think it was like specifically, there is a hesitance with that. Specifically, though, I agree with you. Toys for Bob would probably do fantastically. Yeah. That you mentioned Sly 4. which is done by a different studio, and it didn't do well. It wasn't very good. Most people who I have a friend who loves Sly 1, 2, 3. He doesn't like 4 at all. So they could be gun shy about letting it out because last time they did it, it blew up in their face.
True.
So, but I do think that if it's kind of it's catch-22 in this scenario where if you don't want to make it, which very clearly they don't, and they shouldn't if they don't want to, but someone does, and you can trust them, then you should let it out.
Yeah.
But I understand the gun shyness though, because again, the last 2 who had it didn't do a good job.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, judging by Sony's financial reports, they don't need Sly Cooper to
No.
to help. Moving on to our next story. Sony released some financial reports, and people called out some interesting fishy stuff in there. Looking at a Push Square article on the subject, Sony removes multi-platform revenue from strategic indicators. Much has been made about PlayStation and its reliance of multi-platform releases, meaning they don't rely on them. In a world where Microsoft has started releasing their entire portfolio to PS5, many suspect Sony to be following the same path, especially after unexpectedly porting games like Helldivers 2 to Xbox Series X and Lego Horizon Adventures to Nintendo Switch. But interestingly, in its latest corporate report, the firm has removed game revenue beyond console from its list of strategically emphasized indicator. While this featured prominently in 2024's version of the same document, the platformer holder now cites the following as key measures: PS5 hardware units sold globally, PlayStation monthly active users, total gameplay hours. So there's no real reference in the document to explain why Sony has removed the game revenue beyond console as a strategically emphasized indicator, but it's absolutely worth noting that in the fiscal year 2024, multi-platform releases accounted for only 2% of PlayStation's overall revenue. So basically, I think the moral of this story is it's just not important for PlayStation.
No. This tells me Sony's just gonna stay the course. Like they're not gonna go back. They're not gonna like stop doing what they've done with PC games. Like they're not gonna they'll release some staggered releases that they've been doing. They'll do live and show day and date as they said they were gonna do and been doing. But they're not gonna increase the time. Like they're not gonna go to day and date because that's show me that those are the metrics they were showing. Tell me that their focus is ultimately all those 3 numbers come together to make the numbers for the PlayStation Store, which is like Steam makes its money from. That's the biggest money maker, is just taking your 30% cut from everything you sell. So I think it's a fun strategy. I 100% think it's a good strategy what they're doing. You make your exclusives. In their time, for me, I play my PlayStation, so it really like I'm locked in their ecosystems. They have me right where they want me. You, on the other hand, you always play your PC. So, but you you're not a person like whenever Wolverine or Spider-Man, we even Ghost of Yotei, but some of your really passionate about Spider-Man or something when anything Sonic makes.
Yes.
You're not going to wait till a PC release for those games. You're going to play them as soon as they come out on PlayStation.
Yeah. No.
And Sony's okay with that too.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what Sony wants. I think they want if you're a multi-platform user, they want to bring you to PlayStation at least for a little while. That's what the total gameplay hours and PlayStation monthly active users, those are what those represent, is they want you to buy this game on PlayStation first, play it, enjoy it, love it, to the point where if we do release it on another system, whether it be Xbox, whether it be PC, maybe even Switch 2, you will strongly consider buying it and playing it again, and then therefore re-interacting with our ecosystem,
which you've done. You've bought Spider-Man 2 twice.
I mean, to that point, let's look at how many PlayStation games I have on my Steam account, right?
Yeah.
The Ghost of Tsushima. God, I've said Tsushima for so long. It's Tsushima. It's pronounced in the game as such. It's Tsushima. God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Horizon Zero Dawn and
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. I've already counted Ghost of Tsushima. Have Helldivers 2. I only have that on my PC, but I'm gonna count it. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I don't think
And
I
coming
bought
soon. Coming
Ratchet,
soon.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So we're at 10 now. Did I buy did I buy Uncharted? I don't think I did. No, I did not. Did not buy Uncharted yet. That's the only one that I don't have, I believe.
No Last
And
of Us.
Returnal. So 11.
So, I mean, and coming
11
soon to your Steam
11
coming
of them
soon to your Steam
bitches.
account will be Wolverine and Wolverine and probably Venom. I think Venom game's likely.
Yeah. They released those to
so-
PC. They released those to fucking PC. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. You'll buy them after you already bought them on PlayStation. Like,
For
again,
sure, dude.
and they're fine with that too.
Yeah.
But again, I get the idea, because here's the idea behind that is, okay, one, you bought the console, that's already money in their pocket. Two, when you buy the game on PlayStation off rip, they get a better cut of that because, on PC, Steam's taking a 30% cut off of that. They get the whole thing off of on their ecosystems. That's still a plus. And I think it's a good strategy, because even apparently the numbers have shown, a lot of people doubt it. I don't doubt these. Like, I even have someone, their strategy is you buy the games. If you didn't have PlayStation before, you bought a game off PC that you liked, and then you like the sequel coming out exclusive on PlayStation first, and you're like, well, I don't want to wait, so crap, I'll buy a PlayStation. I know someone who's like that, because I have a PS5 Pro now.
Yep.
I originally had a base model. What did I do with it? I had a coworker who didn't have a PlayStation, but really wanted to play Death Stranding 2 because they loved the first game on PC and didn't want to wait. So I sold my base model, and they bought Death Stranding 2 on PS5. Now, granted, I'm sure Sony would have wanted the buy new, but whatever. But they'll still take the 100% sale on
monthly active users and total gameplay hours are 2 out of the 3 pillars. So
yeah, so again, that's the idea, and I think it's working. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I have no issue with that, and it seems like that taking away from that is a mark that they're just they found their groove and they're locking it in.
Yeah, and I think I mean, if there's only something that's 2% worth of your stuff, like, who cares? Sony and Nintendo have their business models figured the fuck out, and that's why they are the top dogs in the industry, because they just know what they're doing and aren't trying to rock the boat. That's the thing. That's the thing. I think when digital media rose and Microsoft was like, this is our opportunity, we can completely change how we sell video games, but with all this shit. And Nintendo and Sony were like, no, we're still going to do the same thing, just offer a digital option. And so we're just still going to sell games. Whereas Microsoft was like, Xbox was like, we're going to reinvent the wheel. And the wheel definitely didn't need to be reinvented. They just slapped a tire on that bad bitch and sent it on its way. So yeah, it's great that Sony's staying the course. I think that's what's best for them. Helldivers 2 on Xbox, that was just because I think we'll see that happen more often. Those live service games, they want as many people playing those as humanly possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next live service offering does come to PC and Xbox day and date, rather than just PC day and date. We'll see, but with live service, you want as many people playing, but none of Sony's exclusives are coming to Xbox at all. It's just not happening.
No single player games.
Just not happening. And then to end the show, we got a couple good news stories. This one we didn't talk about, but I saw it. But Palworld announced this week that their 1.0 release is set for next year.
Oh wow,
that's cool. Yeah, good for them.
Hopefully Nintendo doesn't try and do some shit with them. But you know what? I wish them all the best.
Yeah, they put out it in a blog post onto Steam. Official release set for 2026. Several surprises still planned for 2025. For Palworld, which is currently in early access, excuse me, the official release of version 1.0 is set to mark a major milestone. We are planning this massive update to mark the occasion. Of course, we'll have several surprises in store for you this year, so stay tuned for further updates. So good for them. Very happy to hear it. Yeah, hopefully Nintendo doesn't shut them down before then. um, so that's awesome for Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair, bunch of good people. They now have a publishing firm that's kind of doing what Outer Sloth did. Well, no, Inner Sloth did. They took the Among Us success and made a publishing arm called Outer Sloth. Pocket Pair has done the same thing. They set up a publishing arm, so it's really awesome that Pal World continues to be successful and will hit their 1.0 here soon. So awesome, Pocket Pair, good for you guys. Secondly, 2XKO is kind of out now.
Kinda.
In a blog post from the summer, they announced that 2XKO would be releasing, not releasing, but would be part of a closed beta starting on September 9th. And basically, they also have further announcement by saying that it's going to be online now permanently. So if you are already, if you've gotten into the previous closed betas on PC, you are good to go and you can download it again right now and play it. They're going to slowly pull in new players as time goes on, they said. And so yeah, it's, if you have a PC, it's technically out. Sort of, kind of weirdly early access. Still calling it a closed beta.
Because the rule thing is, if you got access to the alphas, you have access to this. Even if you play the alphas on console, because it's your Reddit account, you get it on PC as well, and you'll get 3 codes to give to friends. But that's they'll send out more codes slowly with that. Yeah. I think it's a good thing for that because this game's been in development for a long time, and it was honestly, they were losing the limelight hard.
Yeah,
because like with Token and Invisible versus getting also getting announced too.
I mean, even before that, I think with how good Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 were, like the need for 2XKO kind of just like waned away.
Yeah, I also think it's just because they took too long.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's taking them so long. It's not like Riot's an indie studio at all, right? It's got money. So I think they just took too much time, and a lot of the limelight was evaporating. There are some questionable things. I don't understand why it's not on console. Because like, I get like Riot's a primarily like PC studio because obviously their baby is League of Legends, and that's only on PC
and Valorant. Those two babies are tied now.
Yeah, but League is obviously I'm usually because 2XO is a League game.
Yes,
and that's the older of the two. Now Valorant is on console as well, but that at least on PC first. Yeah. And PC is more of a home of first-person shooters. The strange thing about with 2XO right now is just like you already had it on console.
Yeah,
for fighting it specifically, PlayStation is important. So to not release it on PlayStation, at least, I mean, you could have done Xbox too because it's still console, but very at least PlayStation. Like, I think it would have been better, to do it that way. It just seems odd.
Yeah.
Even for me, like I downloaded 2XO on my PC. I haven't even touched it yet. Just because like when I wasn't too impressed with the second alpha, but I don't usually use my PC that often.
Yeah.
I just felt like if you would have released on PlayStation, I probably would have played at least a few rounds by now.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like
I don't understand this whole closed alpha bullshit. Just release it in early access. It's a very common thing these days for a company to release early access to get it in people's hands to start drumming up hype, and so that you can have it and still keep working on it. It's a have your cake eat it too situation that's proven time and time again to be widely successful. Notable games that were successes in early access: Hades 2, Baldur's Gate 3. Like, that's some good company to have in the early access market. Pal World. So why not just release it in early access? Let everybody in to play your game.
And it's not like, again, it's not like Riot doesn't have the server capacity to do that.
Yeah,
it's Riot. They absolutely have the ability to do that.
My thinking is they don't want everybody in until they have like monetization and shit down. and that's
I
like
think,
that
but I
to me.
think they're already.
That's
I'll double check. I'm not 100%. I think I'm pretty sure monetization's already active in it though.
oh well, then there's no
So
excuse.
yeah, and then you said monetization's already active, and I just sure, let's hear thought. The game's well optimized. That's what I'm looking for. The game is pretty optimized, so it's kind of like I don't understand why you're just closing it down. Like you still need more. I think just as you said, just release it full open to everybody. Make sure it's on the consoles too, because again, fighting game, PlayStation's pretty important.
Yeah,
Um,
and even if you didn't want to release it to everybody, slap a $10 to $15 price tag on like, hey, this is early access. You're paying to get into early access. This will be a free
Yeah.
game. We'll give you some kind of reward when we go 1.0, but this is how you get into early access. $15, please.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what it sucked,
People
but
have done that. People have done that in the past too, and it's been fine. Like,
yeah, like it's again, I don't understand the move here, especially considering like you can run the game in offline mode now, so you can run tournaments now. You just have it on PC. PCs are not used that often to run tournaments. They're cumbersome.
My PC weighs like 50 pounds. I'm not taking this someplace.
I
sits on my desk.
I go to fighting game tournaments, as often as I can, go at least a monthly, and I said straight up, I'm like, I'm not bringing my PC to this to help out run tournaments. Like, my PC's right here next to me. It ain't moving. My PlayStation I'll take. I'll help out as much as I can with my PlayStation, and my PlayStation has all my fighting games on it. So, like, Evo, CEO, Combo Breaker, they use PlayStations primarily. Like, I don't understand the logic here of what you're going for.
Yeah, I don't think there's any logic. I think that they're a PC first company that's thinking PC first. When this particular moment, there is a platform that is better suited for this, and that is PlayStation. So I just think that they don't understand that.
No, which again, I think this is the tragedy of 2XKO, is because it is a different beast compared to what they're used to do. They're trying to use what their previous knowledge to do here. It's like the rules here are a little different. So I do think there's been mishandled maybe because of that.
And it's untreaded waters. There really hasn't been a whole lot of free to play fighting games. So where is the monetization coming from? Obviously, it's coming from skins. But like, how else do you run things in this? Do you charge for characters? Do you not charge for characters?
So,
like,
from what I think that if you want to play online, I could be wrong, and I should have double checked before we started the show, but I'm fairly certain what I've read. If you're playing online, not all the characters are unlocked, so you have to do either pay or play the game to earn enough credits to earn enough. If you're in offline mode for tournaments, they're all unlocked.
Interesting. Fighting game ran like a MOBA. We'll see how it goes.
Wait, me and you can test it after the show.
Well, that is going to conclude our show. That was all the news for this week. A little bit slower of a week. Still some stuff to cover, though. Let us know in the comments. Are you playing 2XKO? Or do you unfortunately just have a PlayStation? Or, even worse, do you just have an Xbox? Let us know in the comments. Are you picking up Ghost of Yotei? Would you rather have seen Sly Cooper 5? I think Ghost of Yotei is going to be a lot better. Shout out to Erika Ishii, one of my favorite people who's starring in Ghost of Yotei. That's one of the major reasons why I wanted to buy it in the first place. And now Ghost of Tsushima is so good. This is going to be day one purchase regardless. So good on you. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way you can catch all of our uploads and stuff like that. And we'll see you in the next video.
Adios.